OG of Ideal Protein is Lisa Shaker Knopp. And Lisa, I want to say it's great to connect with you. Lisa always gives us the straight scoop, and tell everybody a little bit about who you are, your background, how you got involved with Ideal Protein.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I know it's early on the East Coast or the West Coast. I know it's about 11 o'clock here on the East Coast, but I'm Lisa, and I actually found Ideal Protein before Ideal Protein ever became a U.S. company. So back in 2005, I was struggling with my own personal health and wellness. My background is I'm a licensed massage therapist, and I've been a therapist for 24 years. I'm kind of grew up in an organic household. My dad was Lebanese and my mom Armenian and Assyrian. So we ate a Mediterranean diet. We had lemon juice and olive oil. There was no bottled dressing in our house. We had salad every night with dinner. We had a garden. I grew up in Michigan. So, we would can our vegetables, from the summer for the winter. We never really had fast food or, junk food. So I grew up really healthfully, and I was an athlete. My dad sold sporting goods for a living. My brother was an athlete. He's only 14 months older than I am. So he really, I worked out like they did. I ate like my family did. But I noticed as a young woman, 12, 13 years old, when you become a little bit aware of your body, that I had an issue with weight. And I would just gain weight if I looked at food, and I didn't even have to eat it. It would just land on my thighs. My brother lovingly named me Thunder Thighs and told me if he had my thighs, he'd be the best fullback in Flint, Michigan, which was not a really nice thing to say to your sister. But later on, he apologized, but the damage was done. So anyways, I've always been kind of short and stocky and thick, and I still am. But the biggest concern for me was my family history. So our dad, who was the picture of health on the outside, dropped dead at 71 years of age. He was on the golf course. He made a 20-foot putt for par, got the ball out of the hole, and basically dropped dead. It was horrible, horrible. It was August 22nd of 2004, a day that's embedded in my brain. That phone call was the worst phone call I ever got in my life. I was about a size 8 at that point. And by the time January rolled around, my butt was back to a size 14. And it wasn't because I was in the closet eating bonbons or, I just didn't want to eat. I was very sad. I cried a lot. And then in January of 2006 or 2005, 2005, I decided, oh my gosh, you need to get your act together. This is bad. So I did what everybody does in January. I went on a diet, like I had many times before. And I've done a lot of diets: Jenny Craig, Nutrisystem, Weight Watchers, cabbage soup diet, hypnotherapy diet, bodybuilder diet, had my hair tested, my saliva analyzed, the mercury taken out of my mouth once a week for 4 weeks. And I did a lot of tonics and elixirs and supplements, and just nothing would penetrate this body. Just nothing I did worked. And so anyways, I hired a personal trainer, and I started working out from January until October of that year, maybe November, hard, 3 to 4 times a week with time and money I didn't have. And after all of that time, I actually had gained 2 pounds, and it wasn't 2 pounds of muscle. I was still fat, and I was still miserable, and I still just didn't understand what was wrong with my body. And at that time, I was doing a lot of massage, so I was very active too, besides the workout, besides my working out. So I realized at that point, just as a therapist and a muscle person and just a health conscious person, that the exercise was not the problem. It was more than that. It was something cellular. It was something deeper. I didn't really know what it was, but I knew something was wrong with my chemistry. And so around that time, I got invited to a workshop, like I still give right now I'm not giving, direct workshops, but I have given a workshop every week for 14 years without fail until now. And now it's just kind of virtual one-on-one messages. But anyway, so I went to this workshop, and this lady started talking about the pancreas. And as we know the story, learning about the pancreas kind of eye-opened me. And I thought, wow, since I'm 13 years old, son of a gun, it's my pancreas. This is the problem. And so on a wing and a prayer, and back when I started with Ideal Protein, it was drop shipped to your house. We had 12 SKUs to choose from, and most of them were sweet, and I'm a salty person. I hate pudding, and 3 of our things were pudding, but I figured out a way to make pancakes out of the pudding way before any of these other cooking people started cooking. I got in the kitchen, because I am a cook, and started creating recipes from the small amount of SKUs that we had. And I jumped in on Ideal Protein, and I did Ideal Protein from December of 2005, December 1st, I started, yes. And then I finished June of 2006. I went from a size 16, 18 to a size 6'8". I got my body fat from 38% down to about 25, 26%. My body changed, my chemistry changed, my hormones changed. I felt amazing. At that time, I was 42, 43 years old. I'm going to be 57 in April. And so I have really been in prevention mode all of these years. It's been about prevention for me, preventing, because everyone in my family gets diabetes and heart disease. That's where this comes from. And so I learned about metabolic syndrome. I know that's what my dad died from. So I feel like he handed me this baton to teach this protocol that I teach in Tampa. I'm in the Tampa Bay area. I actually was able to open my own clinic before Ideal Protein became a U.S. company. So I started teaching and training Ideal Protein in 2006. We didn't become in my house. We didn't become a U.S. company until 2008. So in 2008, I opened up the first Ideal Protein clinic in the USA officially. And I've been teaching and training Ideal Protein since. And I have a great team of coaches that work with me. I have 2 locations. I'm still teaching and training Ideal Protein and also just health and wellness concepts. You know, I'm really a health coach. I like helping people be well. And especially during this time where everyone is, you know, fearful and scared, and we all don't understand what's happening. But I'll tell you, Ideal Protein has taught me so much that I have no fear right now. Because we only, you know, our doctor, Dr. Tran, says we only accept what we understand. And there are a lot of things that we cannot understand right now. But the thing we can understand is how our body works and what it needs to fuel it to be healthier and better. And those are all the concepts that I've learned and that I teach and that my team teaches and that all of us around the country, Ideal Protein coaches and owners around the country, are also teaching. You know, this is a time to be well. This is a time to rest. This is a time to recharge. This is a time to feed your body what it needs and not tear it down with toxins. And white sugar and flour is the devil. I am convinced. So anyways, that is my point.
I love it. So, Lisa, tell us a little bit about what is on the board behind you.
Yes. So at the beginning of this, what is now a quarantine, but at the very beginning of this whole situation, I was talking to a client one day, and I just put these things up on the board that just came to my heart. These things just come to me from things I've read and done and learned, and I put them up on the board. And if I stand up, let's see, can you see the board? Okay. Let me see if I do that. I don't know if you can see everything.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. Oh, good. Perfect.
All right. So anyway, one of the things that I put up here is fear. Fear suppresses our immune system. So, you know, if you're a prayerful person, of course, this is Holy Week for, you know, many of us, you know, praying and meditating and breathing and practicing some deep breathing, some yoga and stuff like that to release that fear. But, you know, fear is false evidence appearing real, right? We hear about that. But when we have all that fear, what happens is it really does suppress our immune system. Cortisol levels go up, insulin levels rise in the presence of that cortisol, and then you really can't burn fat. And in fact, you start actually storing fat mostly in your belly. So work on this. Do not be afraid. You know, we are taught, do not be afraid. You know, we will be clothed, we will be fed, we will be okay. But it really does tear us down. Staying hydrated. So these are some concepts that are just healthy concepts. They're not necessarily for Ideal Protein, but I call it flushing the gunk, getting the gunk out of your body. The more water you drink, the more you can hydrate, the more you can get rid of these things that might be brewing inside of us. So get rid of it, stay hydrated. Water is a good way, but also using some electrolyte water is good. We have some water enhancers in Ideal Protein. Branched chain amino acids are good to use during this time. Trying to stay away from a lot of the sugary drinks, you know, the things that have a lot of stuff in them. That would be a lot of coffee and caffeine. I know some people end up doing that. Maybe switch to some herbal tea. Hot food also helps kill viruses. So hot tea, hot lemon water, hot broth. These are all things that are noted that are helpful for killing the virus, especially, if you're really feeling like something's happening, about every 20 minutes, some hot lemon water is supposed to stave off some of the stuff that's going on in the throat area and kill out some of this viral activity. And also hydrating our cells, very important. Eating greens. This is a concept we have to learn. It doesn't really matter if you're on my protocol or our protocol, or you're on just a healthy protocol. Eating greens does what? Think about greenery. Greenery gives off oxygen. Eating greens oxygenates our cells. When we are oxygenated, right, cellularly oxygenated, we know, we've been taught that, bacteria, virus, fungus, and even cancer cannot grow in an oxygenated environment. And so one of the benefits of ideal protein in particular is that it's a pH balanced protocol. So this is more the time, more than ever, to stay on protocol to keep your body in a pH balance. That's also anti-inflammatory. So keeping inflammation low is also super important. And then eating protein. What's the benefit of protein? Well, protein is the building block of every living cell in our body. Our teeth, hair, nails, eyes, skin, the synthesis of hormones, every living cell requires daily doses of protein. If you're having a hard time getting protein at the store right now, this is where Ideal Protein could save you. Even if you're not on Ideal Protein, using Ideal Protein as a supplement to your regular diet right now is a beautiful choice. The Ideal Proteins are bioavailable, they're highly absorbable, they're pretty much vegetarian in nature, they're not vegan, but they do give you all the essential amino acids to be a complete protein, as if you were eating chicken or fish or steak or eggs. And so if those things in your area are hard to come by, why not get with your clinic and have them ship you or curbside you some protein in the meantime to help you through this quarantine. And then also sleep. Sleep is very important. It helps repair our immune system. Again, it repairs our cells, tissues, and organs while we're sleeping. Going to bed on protein actually helps facilitate fat burning while we sleep, and also helps you repair while you're sleeping. So they kind of go together. Now, those are some things we can apply for health and wellness. One of the things that tears our immune system down really bad is toxic things like sugar, but alcohol. I have chosen since February 22nd not to drink, and I'm sticking to my guns right now. I know that's going to tear my immune system down. It definitely gets in the way of fat burning. If you're in fat burning mode right now, drinking alcohol will stop your fat burning for 2 to 3 days. I know a lot of people are, scared. And again, that goes back to fear. But one of the things that I've just chosen to do is switch out my glass of wine for maybe a branched chain amino acid or a Perrier with lime or a lemon water enhancer, which tastes like lemonade to me. I'm just trying other hot tea or hot things. So I'm just changing my habits, my daily habits, more for wellness and immune building right now than for diet purposes. But I'll tell you, the interesting thing is, if you read all of this and you understand all of this, this is the perfect time to be on Ideal Protein phase 1 if you really do need to lose fat and be healthier, because all of these things is what we teach on our protocol. And if we do this now while we really aren't socializing outside of our homes, we're really not going to bars and restaurants, maybe we're picking up some stuff, which is fine because we do need to support our small businesses. As you know, we do try to at least, pick up food once or twice a week to help keep some of these businesses going, but we're still ordering clean and we're still ordering lean and green. And that's what we do in our home. But, also the biggest thing is if this is a time where you are being reflective and what you can do to be healthier and better in your life now that you're maybe slowing down a bit. I know there's a lot of stress at home with kids. I don't have kids at home now, but I know my daughter does. And teaching them at home and holding down a full-time job and taking care of the household are big demands. But, there is some reflection time and there is a little bit more time for us to focus on our own health and well-being. So if you were ever going to do protocol, this is a perfect time because you're not drinking, hopefully. You are eating better because you want to be healthier. So to me, this is the perfect time to go on protocol. But even if it's not okay for you to be on protocol, it is okay for you to apply these kind of lifestyle rules to your day-to-day and keep you at least where you are. So when we come out of this quarantine, you haven't put on 15 or 20 pounds. And I know we've seen some funny memes about that, like, will my 600-pound life people call me or do I have to call them? That was a funny one. Or, the Barbie doll that was skinny and then fat.
Oh my gosh, I know. That was like
So,
one of the first things that came out, and I was just like, oh yeah, this could easily happen. And we all know that, they've been kind of breaking it to us easily. First it was 2 weeks and 3 weeks, and now, there's a lot of different things out there. And I think what Lisa says is right, is that we can't focus on the unknown and what we don't know. All we can focus on is educating ourselves more and more, and learning what we do know. And I know there's a lot of coaches on here today, and Lisa, I would love for you to speak to us as coaches, because one of the big things that I truly believe is we have to walk our talk.
Yes. Yep. So I right now have decided that this is the perfect time for protocol. So I'm hardcore since February 22nd, working my plan, working the plan, doing the protocol, and having fun with it, because it's actually pretty darn easy. I do my 3 ideal proteins. I cook 1 meal, some meat and vegetables. When you're in ketosis, you're not really craving and hungry. If I do get hungry, I eat celery and radishes like rabbit food, but I don't care. I grew up on that. It's easy for me. I know for some people that's a challenge. For me, it's not hard. If I'm a little hungry, I'll have some hot tea or hot broth. That's very helpful. So I figured, you know what, I might as well be on protocol right now. I'm not really doing much, so I might as well just, work on me and get really healthy, really build that immune system up. If the scale doesn't move that much, I'm not really concerned about it. I'm really more concerned about making sure I'm pH balanced, making sure that my cells are well, making sure I'm not tearing my cells down during this potentially, viral time that we're in. So I just think I'm just happy to be on protocol. I feel amazing and I love it. Makes me happy to be on protocol, not sad.
Yeah. Another thing that you can do, and this is whether you are on or not, Ideal Protein has an app. And we have our clients, they get great videos that help them. So if you're a client out here and you haven't signed up for the app, and I know sometimes it's challenging to get everybody, like, why do I need another app? But Lisa, tell us about, the app, the benefits, the virtual coaching, how this can all come together, and really, not to ignore this. Oh, I'll restart when this is over.
Yeah, there are some people who just are wallowing up in a little hole. And even though we have offered free shipping in our clinic, which is an expense that I'm willing to take on right now to help people stay on protocol, we're doing mostly, obviously, curbside pickup and trying to be essential in people's lives to help them stay well. We're doing a lot of shipping and a lot of curbside service. But even then, when I call someone and I do my virtual coaching, I'm like, okay, well, I'm happy, to ship it to you since you're having your Target food shipped or your, Instacart or your shipped shipping. But no, we're fine. We're okay. That's just lets me know that they just aren't open. They're just closed right now. And I'm not going to help them until this is over, which is a little sad for me, but I get it. On the other hand, some of the virtual coaching has been great. And of course, with the FaceTime thing, that's amazing. The Zoom thing, you can really see people like we're doing now. Renee, you've been doing this type of stuff for a while, so this is not new to you anyway. I'm wondering if the people out in TV land or in internet land and this out there, what do you think about virtual coaching? How is your response been to that? Are you staying connected to your coach? You should be. And if you're not, you should at least, get with other people like you and do your own little coaching session if you need to between each other. But with the invention of FaceTime and, the way to stay connected now, and then the scale, the smart scale, Ideal Protein has a great smart scale. It does actually sync with the app. The app is still a work in progress as far as all the details of the app are not beautiful right now, but Ideal Protein is well aware of that. They're working really hard to make it a really stellar app. But the thing that the app is good for is keeping you accountable to your coach. So even if it's just getting a smart scale and stepping on it once a week, Your coach can see your progress. You can see your progress. There is a way to at least put your supplements and your water in. That's pretty easy to do. Documenting your ideal proteins is really easy on there. The challenging part a little bit is the whole food. If you feel stressed about that, just put the basic information. At least if your coach gets an idea that you're doing chicken breast and not hot dogs, that will give the coach a little bit of direction for you. So the app is on Ideal Protein app. It's free. You can maybe talk to your coach or clinic about a smart scale. Most of the centers are having them on sale right now. Ideal Protein has also opened up if your clinic is being challenged right now with not being able to open their doors at all or not being able to operate. Ideal Protein for small fees. They're actually really reasonable shipping fees. Will actually ship directly to your home via your home clinic. If you're really having a hard time with that, you can reach out to the Ideal Protein Corporate Center, and they will absolutely help us through this quarantine time. So don't just throw your hands up in the air out of frustration. Some way, somehow, if you want to, you can stay on protocol. I'm just curious who likes the virtual coaching, who doesn't really like the virtual coaching. I really like interface relationships. I really like the one-on-one, but I also feel like I could be an effective coach, on FaceTime. It's not as perfect, but I think it's very good. So hopefully you're taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I've met with a lot of my clients online and even just to catch up. So, and I've just reached out. One thing that we know, Lisa, is as we go through the first journey with someone, and a lot of my clients have been with me 5, 6, 7 years, and they come back once a year or, whatever. Some clients come in every single week and just get on the body comp machine, and we have a connection. I mean, we know each other. And so I think sometimes coaching can be all business, but I think we need to really make sure that we really know the heart of somebody. And so I know the heart of 98% of my clients. And so I just reach out to people and just like, how are you? Let's just jump on a Zoom call. Let's look each other in the eye.
Right.
What's going on for you? How can I help you? And in the same way as if you came into the office and we sat down and you're just like, look, I just need a couple snacks. I'm not really into it right now, but I know these snacks are healthier for me than anything I'm getting at Trader Joe's or even Whole Foods. And so, I really have enjoyed the virtual coaching, and I've been doing it for a while and offering that as a service to my clients because, again, you have all these clients that some move out of the area. A lot of my clients travel all the time, all over the world. It's a way for us to just get that accountability, talk about, geez, I'm in Belgium right now, and these are my options and how I can kind of keep you, moving in the right direction,
Right.
So I personally, of course, I love in-person meetings, but I think it's great that we can all jump on here and meet with each other. And it's interesting. This last week, I had a mom and a daughter come in that had been on the program a couple of years ago at a different clinic, and that clinic is closed. So they came into our Palm Desert office and I met with them. And then she texted me and she said, look, my son-in-law wants to come in and my other daughter and my other son-in-law. So I met with all three of them. And, because we're not, I got them their food and everything, but I said, look, why don't we do this? Tonight we have a virtual coaching call. So there's going to be, 5 of them and me, and I'm going to go through the whole plan, and I can throw up all the paperwork behind me on my screen and do a screen share. I can answer all their questions. And it's a group meeting. So I love it. It's such a great option.
So I know some of us are not, I know I'm one of them. Some of us are not so technical. We're not as techy and as savvy. And I know that's a little bit tough for a lot of people as well, but you can do it like the old fashioned way. I say it, you can attach the paperwork via, email, and then they can print it and have it in front of them. And then, you can have your folder in front of you, and you can just do a FaceTime call. It doesn't have to be a Zoom, or even you can even just do it over a blind phone call, like a call. If they have their paperwork in front of them and you have your paperwork in front of you, you're like, okay, pull out the paper, and if you're showing them, pull out the paper that has the grocery list on it. Okay, here's your grocery list. And so I actually did a live Zoom new consult last week of someone who had not ever done the protocol, and it went actually pretty well. I was kind of like, okay, okay, I got the paper. Okay, you look at the paper, I'll look at the paper, and and then I was able to help her pick some food, and then she lived close to the clinic, so she did a curbside pickup of the actual first package of her vitamins and whatnot. But I found out what she likes, salty, sweet, whatever. So it's a little harder in some ways, but I have some great clients that I'm coaching that live in Michigan, and one lives in Minnesota, and they're kind of family and friends that I've known over the years when I lived back in Michigan. And so one of my clients that is in Michigan lost 130 pounds in 10 months, and we never saw each other once during the whole procedure. We just did FaceTime and phone call and texting and shipping, and she was a rock star, and I've got a couple more doing really great. So it does open up doors for us. I know that is not our model. I know that we are brick and mortar, pretty much brick and mortar. And I like that the best, but it doesn't mean that we can't help a lot of other people right now, especially while we're all quarantined at home. Even people you wouldn't even know, maybe someone's cousin or uncle or aunt or nephew or whoever is living in a different place. But now is the time. You could ship them a scale. They can stay connected. They can use the app. You can do the FaceTime. You can ship them the food. So it's really a great opportunity to actually help our clinics and to help our clients and to help more clients during this quarantine time. I look at it as an opportunity and another doorstep.
It is. It's an opportunity to grow. And quite honestly, whoever's on here, if you want a lesson in Zoom, I am happy to do that. We could do that over on our coaches education group. It's a little techie at first, but honestly, it's really super easy. And a lot of this, yes, Lisa, I've been doing this for a while, but you know who inspired me? My 15-year-old son. Mm-hmm. So,
kids.
It was funny.
To give you a lesson.
No, he's the one that
have them teach their mama how to do it.
Exactly. He taught me how to stream and what camera to get. And no, it was really fun. It was something that we did together. And then, I bought all this fancy equipment and then later realized, look, I'm on my laptop right now. You don't even need anything, but yeah. I have no light in front of me. I'm in front of the windows. So, simple tricks that we can use, to help other people. So thank you so much, Lisa. I know we have a bunch of people on here. Thank you to everybody who's said hello to us. Unfortunately, when you're in a private group, it doesn't give me anybody's name. It just says, good morning. And I see Melissa's on here and Suzanne and I don't know who else, a bunch of people, but thank you guys. Thank you, Lisa. Any last words you'd like to say as we kind of close up today?
I guess just in my heart, I wish everybody well. I hope everyone is being safe and, really just doing some great personal contemplation of where they are and where they're going, whether it's on a professional level, whether it's on a health level, or any level in between. We're all in this. Every single person is going through this. Nobody, the poor people, my mother is in assisted living, nobody can come and visit her. There are people in the hospital right now. Nobody can come and visit. My daughter's a labor and delivery nurse. Nobody can even be in the delivery. Maybe the dad during delivery and then postpartum, nobody can even be visiting. So, there's a lot of people in the world right now that are suffering alone, but we're all in this boat together. So this is the time. The time you can yourself. It's probably the perfect yourself. That's what I'm working on. That's what I hope for most of my clients and our clients, the Shake It Off team and clients. That's what we're hoping for. We won't be able to help every single person, but I hope that we can help as many as we can, and we continue to just get through this tough time all as a United States. And then, of course, worldwide, I hope we just come out of this stronger and better. And I think if we, if we can put our fears down and focus on what we do know, that will help all of us. So amen. God bless. Happy Easter and happy Passover to everybody out there. And let's just keep pushing.
Thank you, Lisa. Beautiful. Great to connect with you. Thank you to everybody that's on here. We appreciate any subject that you would like to talk about. Just kick it over my way, and we'll be talking about it. Thanks for joining me today, Lisa.
Bye bye.
Have a good one, everybody.
Thank you.